My husband set me up to be assaulted 7 times. 7 years of marriage. 7 times dragged into dark alleys by thugs. The 7th time, they broke my legs and left me in a dumpster, bleeding out. Only when he saw the exact same scene from years ago did my husband Marcus finally emerge from the shadows, ordering his men to capture the thugs who'd killed his sister. He glanced at me, barely breathing, his eyes conflicted. Then all that remained was mockery and ice. Did you enjoy it this time? Rachel, you owe me everything. His men saw my condition and reached for their phones, panicking. Marcus knocked the phone away. Don't call 911. Take her to identify the attackers first. I closed my eyes, letting them move me, tears streaming down. 7 years of nightmares. Now I finally knew why. Marcus, I've paid my debt. Chapter 1. I woke screaming, phantom pain shooting through my legs. Even with my eyes open, I couldn't shake their faces twisted, leering, violent. What? Didn't get enough? Dreaming about more? Marcus sat in the bedside chair, voice dripping contempt. His childhood sweetheart Stella nestled in his arms, adding her poison. Rachel, you're pathetic. When Marcus ignores you, you go find thugs for excitement? Are you addicted to it? 6 times already, and you still pretend innocence. The moment he texts, you dress up and run to meet him. 6 times. Yes, I was that stupid. How did I keep believing he wanted to reconcile? Last night, Marcus texted me to meet him in that alley again. Despite my suspicions, I went anyway, clinging to hope. Same as always, endless torment waited for me. I screamed his name, praying he'd save me, only to see him making out with Stella at the alley entrance. For a full hour, until those animals finished and left, he finally appeared with his men. By then, blood pooled beneath me, my abdomen cramping violently. 2 months without a period. I reached for Marcus, desperate. Marcus, hospital. I think I'm miscarrying. His brows furrowed. Stella grabbed his arm, examining me with fake concern. Oh, sister, you must have enjoyed yourself too much. Look at your face, pure ecstasy. Good thing too. 1 bastard child is enough, don't you think? The pain was unbearable. No strength to fight back. I just stared at Marcus, pleading. He turned away, leaving only, Rachel, when did you become such a whore? But he forgot the last alley incident was a year ago. This baby couldn't be anyone else's. The hospital door opened, breaking my spiral. The doctor came to examine me. When they pulled back the covers, my mind went blank. Tears poured down. On the bed lay what remained of my legs cut off at the thighs. I grabbed the doctor's arm, hysterical. My legs? Where are my legs? The doctor looked uncomfortable. They were broken yesterday. You wouldn't wake up, and your husband feared complications, so he chose amputation. Amputation? Marcus knew I was a professional dancer. This was worse than death. I lunged at him but crashed to the floor. Marcus didn't move, just watched, eyes bloodshot. Rachel, you only lost your legs. What about my sister? My mother? Trading your useless legs for 2 lives, you got the better deal. My heart shattered. I clenched my fists until my nails drew blood. Marcus, I've paid everything I owe you. Chapter 2. The day I left the hospital, I went straight home to pack. My 6-year-old son Jamie stood nearby, clothes torn, covered in bruises, but fire in his eyes. I said nothing, just took his hand to leave. We ran into Stella with Marcus at the entrance. Seeing us holding hands, Stella smirked. Look at this touching mother-son moment. Good thing you kept this bastard, sister. Jamie, hearing bastard, became a wild animal, charging at Stella. Marcus backhanded him to the ground. Rachel, this is what you've riced a feral brat. Like father, like son. This child Marcus forced me to have. After the first alley attack, I got pregnant. I wanted an abortion, but Marcus had me watch 24/7, forcing me to give birth. His punishment. Making sure I'd never forget my crime. But his punishment went far beyond that. Especially after getting with Stella, the torture intensified, pushing me toward hell repeatedly. Why the suitcase? Think you can leave before paying your debt? Marcus noticed my luggage. And kicked it over. Clothes scattered. A small box flew out, hitting the wall. Crack. The jade pendant inside shattered. His sister's farewell gift to me. Marcus recognized it instantly, eyes going red. Rachel, you're stealing now? That was my sister's favorite pendant. His slap burned across my face. I stared at him, defiant. I didn't steal it. She gave it to me. His rage exploded. Still lying? You were jealous of her dancing, so you arranged her assault, destroyed her legs. Now you steal her pendant. You want everything of hers. Someone. Remove her prosthetics. Make her kneel before my sister's memorial. Servants. Pinned my arms, ripping off my prosthetics, forcing me to the ground. The fresh amputation sites tore open against the floor, bleeding through the bandages. The searing pain made me writhe, but without legs, I couldn't balance. Stella laughed. Marcus, look. She's like a weeble toy. Sister, you can't dance anymore, but you could join the circus. The servants joined her laughter. Jamie stood frozen, eyes cold. Stella pushed me again, making me wobble. I lost balance, crashing down. My arm hit my sister-in-law's memorial. The urn toppled, shattering across the floor. Watching the ashes scatter like dust, Stella panicked, quickly deflecting. Rachel, you killed his sister, and now you won't even leave her ashes alone. Marcus grabbed my collar, lifting me up, teeth grinding. Rachel. My sister was nothing but kind to you. Why? What did she ever do to deserve this? His eyes burned with hatred, ready to consume me. I met his gaze, shaking my head through tears. After a long stare, he dropped me. Thud. Let her kneel all night. Tomorrow, on my sister's anniversary, she'll pay properly. They pressed me down. The porcelain shards embedded in my stumps, instantly soaking the white carpet red. Consciousness fading, I endured hours before finally passing out. Chapter 3. 7. Years ago, Marcus and I were the perfect couple everyone envied. His sister and I clicked instantly, were in the same dance company. That night, we just competed in the auditions that would determine who joined the National Ballet. Our tickets to the dream. Everything went perfectly until after, when I took a shortcut to save time. We encountered drunk men in a dark alley. We screamed, but they gagged us immediately. Darkness consumed us. When someone found us the next morning, his sister lay broken in a dumpster, legs destroyed, barely alive. I was unconscious nearby, covered in bruises. Doctors said she'd never dance again. She couldn't handle it. Jumped from the hospital roof. His mother's heart couldn't take losing her daughter. She died of a heart attack. Overnight, Marcus lost two of the people he loved most. And the National Ballet spot fell to me by default. Rumors spread like wildfire. Everyone said I'd orchestrated it for the position. After all, only she had her legs broken. From then on, Marcus became someone else entirely. And I chose self-deception, silent endurance. Because if I hadn't chosen that shortcut, his sister would still be alive. Ice water shocked me awake from unconsciousness. Look at her, Marcus. You told her to kneel and repent, but she's taking a nap. And she made this mess. When guests come to pay respects, they'll think we don't care about your sister. Marcus was about to explode when a servant rushed in. Sir. There's reporters outside. They're here about Mrs. Lancaster. Marcus shot me a venomous look. Stella jumped in first. Marcus, she must have called them. Trying to play victim. Marcus glanced at me, lips curling. Rachel, my sister was the real victim, yet you want to claim innocence? Fine. I'll show everyone who really killed her. Those videos of you with the thugs? I kept every one. Put them on the screen. The Memorial Hall's large screen suddenly displayed footage of me with those criminals. Edited or angled somehow, my expression looked ambiguous. The room erupted in whispers. Look at her face, the rumors were true. She wanted this. God, what kind of sick person enjoys being like that? No wonder Mr. Lancaster won't touch her. She's probably so desperate she developed issues. This explains everything. She probably arranged his sister's attack. Why else would she be fine while his sister died? I watched the looping footage, 7 years of traumatic memories flooding back. I clutched my head, eyes squeezed shut, desperate to escape. When I looked up, I met Marcus's arctic stare. What? Feeling ashamed now? Where was that shame when you were enjoying yourself? Stella surprisingly defended me publicly. Marcus, don't be too harsh. Today is your sister's memorial. This scene would upset her. Let me take Rachel to Chanhae. A red dress at a memorial is inappropriate. More whispers erupted. I looked down. My prosthetic wounds had bled so much, they'd turned my white dress red. Stella led me to a familiar room, handed me a white dress, and left. Looking at my broken reflection, I changed anyway. The moment I removed my dress, the door burst open. Thugs rushed in, leering, rubbing their hands. Hey beautiful, already undressed and waiting for us? Boss, she ain't got legs. Never had a cripple before. Might be interesting. The nightmare returned. I screamed for them to stop, but it was useless. Finally, someone heard my cries and broke down the door. Blinding camera flashes made me shield my eyes. Through my fingers, I saw Marcus's face, contorted with rage. Stella spat. Rachel, I kindly brought you here to change, and you couldn't wait? Bringing thugs to defile my sister's room? Are you even human? No, it's not true. I shook my head desperately, but no one believed me. Come on, lady, don't play innocent. You're the one who said you couldn't wait. Just like years ago you said you'd bring another girl to play, then claimed assault. Got my brother locked up. Marcus's eyes widened in disbelief, fury erupting. Rachel. It really was you. They told me, but I didn't believe it. You were working with them all along. Why? Being a whore wasn't enough? Why drag my sister into it? His fists clenched, eyes bloodshot. I collapsed, knowing I couldn't defend myself, but tried anyway. Marcus, do you really believe I did this? Silence stretched between us. Finally, start the live stream. Since she loves excitement, let's give her enough. Show everyone what trash she is. Phones pointed at my naked body, broadcasting my humiliation. Then, from the doorway, old Mr. Lancaster spoke with trembling voice. The one who killed your sister wasn't Rachel, it was. Chapter 4. It was me. Every camera turned to the elderly man. Marcus stared in disbelief. Grandfather. What are you saying? Tears glistened in the old man's eyes, unable to hide years of buried darkness. After a long pause, he spoke again. 7 years ago, I texted Rachel, rushing them home for the celebration dinner. I told her that alley was a shortcut, told them to hurry. If not for me, they wouldn't have taken that route, wouldn't have met those monsters. He hung his head in anguish. All these years, I'd never mentioned this. I was the one who led her down that path. No need to drag his grandfather into it. That alley was dark and isolated. I should have known the danger. I should have known. I closed my eyes, emotions overwhelming me, tears falling despite myself. Rachel, you dare cry? Haven't you performed enough for grandfather all these years? Performed? I looked up at this stranger wearing my husband's face. You conspired with criminals to hurt my sister, then played victim, making grandfather live in guilt all these years. Your manipulation worked on grandfather. Deceiving an old man for 7 years, are you even human? Tears wouldn't stop, but I wiped them away defiantly. When someone refuses to believe you, nothing you say matters. I had no more tears for him. Marcus, let's get divorced. His eyes narrowed, then his lips curved coldly. Rachel, divorce won't save you. Someone. Take her to the basement freezer. Let her reflect on her sins. No. Don't take my mom. Jamie suddenly rushed forward, blocking me. Fine. Your precious mother. Take the bastard too. The basement freezer was arctic, but not as cold as my heart. I found the warmest corner possible, but soon my body went rigid. Jamie suffered worse, his small face turning blue. I held him tight, trying to share warmth. This child brought complex feelings. I knew he didn't choose to be born, but accepting his origins was hard. He sensed my ambivalence, always keeping his distance. Servants, Marcus, me, no one in his world loved him. So when I simply held him now, he began crying softly. I stroked his hair gently, pulling him closer. Hours passed. Silence outside. Jamie and I pounded on the door, screaming. Still nothing. When Jamie finally collapsed from cold, I kept calling his name, begging him to stay awake. But I too eventually succumbed to the darkness. Grandfather woke me. Rachel, I'm sorry. You've suffered all these years. I know you're not that kind of person. Marcus is blinded by grief. Leave quickly, take Jamie and go. He pressed a box into my hands and smuggled us out. 3 days later, Marcus finally remembered us in the freezer and sent someone. The servant searched everywhere, then reported with trembling voice. Sir, they're gone. Marcus roared, how can they just be gone? Find them. Keep looking. If you can't find them, you can stay in there. Grandfather intervened, I let them go. Marcus, you know what kind of person Rachel is. All these years, she knew I sent that text, told them to take that shortcut, but never said a word. I've lived in agony, wishing for death. I've lived long enough. Marcus, while there's still time. Find her. With that, he slammed his head against the wall, dying instantly. Marcus lost his last family member. The pain of losing his sister and mother 7 years ago crashed over him like a tsunami. At the funeral, he knelt helplessly, lighting incense. Then curled in a corner like a child, drowning himself in alcohol. 7 years of memories flashed through his mind. He remembered his sister's last words, brother, don't blame Rachel. Combined with grandfather's final words, he had to ask himself, did he really believe Rachel was capable of this? But what had he done to her all these years? In the darkness, he saw Rachel's eyes again. Sorrow. Endurance. Despair. He reached for those hands but grasped only air. He woke with tears streaming down. The massive house held only him now. Footsteps echoed outside. Click, click, click. That sound, once so familiar. He spun around, hope flooding his eyes. Rachel. Brother. The door opened. Stella walked in wearing heels. Right. Why would she return? How could she return? Brother, you drank so much. Stella surveyed the empty bottles, helping him up. Brother, don't be sad. You still have me, and the baby. Marcus stared at her stomach, frowning deeper. He'd always wanted children. A child with Rachel. As newlyweds, they dreamed of being parents together. Imagined their family of 3. Marcus shoved Stella away. Get out. She fell, her belly hitting the corner. Blood immediately pooled beneath her. Marcus. Our baby. Watching her bleed, he suddenly remembered Rachel days ago, begging him, saying she was miscarrying. But he'd chosen to let her bleed. Then he realized she couldn't have been pregnant by anyone else. Stella lost the baby at the hospital. He'd killed another child. The lawyer rushed over, seeing Marcus's vacant stare, hesitating before speaking. Mr. Lancaster, your sister's attackers confessed. They're all getting life sentences. But they said. Marcus finally focused. This was the first good news recently. But what? The lawyer hesitated, then continued, they said they don't know Mrs. Lancaster. Chapter 5. Don't know her? Marcus froze. That meant she wasn't their accomplice, just another victim. Deep down, someone as smart as him always knew the truth. But losing 2 loved ones had been unbearable. Self-deception was easier. Marcus walked to the window, ready to end it all. The lawyer stopped him. Sir, old Mr. Lancaster left this. Said if you ever accepted the truth, you could still find Mrs. Lancaster. Marcus opened the note. Right. He had to atone. After leaving the mansion, I took Jamie to the hospital address grandfather gave me. The doctor there, his old classmate, provided advanced treatment and examined my legs thoroughly. Though gone, he fitted me with state-of-the-art prosthetics, eyes full of pity. I wasn't too upset. No legs, but life continues. Grandfather's box contained substantial money. I didn't touch it, using only my savings from dancing to move to Canada. I changed my name and opened a small dance studio. Can't dance anymore, but I won't abandon what I love. Life here was quiet, stable. I enrolled Jamie in a local school. No one mocked him here. I cooked for him, walked him to school, helped with homework. Simple things, but they made him genuinely happy for the first time. The peace didn't last. One morning, I found my studio's glass doors splashed with red paint. Big red letters, murderer. Before I could react, a mob surrounded me, dousing me in paint. Murderer teaching children. Corrupting them. What kind of world lets someone like you near kids? Teaching dance or teaching them to be whores? My daughter said strange men keep coming here. Probably her criminal friends. Their words escalated. They grabbed my hair, hitting me. But this was years later, in a foreign country. How did they suddenly know? Jamie ran over from school, clothes torn. Seeing them attack me, he threw his small body between us, pushing desperately. My mom is good. She's good. Don't hurt my mom. But a 6-year-old against adults? They quickly surrounded us again. Then a familiar voice rang out, let them go. I looked up. Marcus. He charged through like a madman, pushing through the crowd, shielding us with his body. But here, no one knew him as the Lancaster heir. The crowd erupted again. Paint, blood, metal bars all aimed at Marcus. He never let go, protecting us, never leaving. Eventually they tired and dispersed. Marcus was covered in blood, unable to tell injuries from paint. His eyes barely opened, face swollen. With his last strength, he whispered, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Then collapsed. He woke in a hospital bed. Seeing me beside him, he tried to rise but winced, falling back. He grabbed my hands desperately, sorry, sorry. Finally continuing, Rachel, I was wrong. I failed you. I always knew you weren't capable of that. Why didn't I believe you? Why? I don't deserve forgiveness. I have no right to ask. But please, let me atone. Let me do anything, just let me stay near you. Rachel, I only have you left. Only then did I learn grandfather had died. But I pulled my hands away, saying calmly, Marcus, you know I only had you too. I was terrified then. I desperately needed your understanding, your comfort, just a little warmth. But what did you do? You pushed me away, punished me, threw me back into those nightmares. Again and again. I understood you lost your sister and mother, so I hid my wounds and waited. Endured 7 years of hatred, waiting for you. Why couldn't you give me just one embrace? My words were soft, but they crushed him. He could only weep. Finally calming, his eyes red, he said, Rachel, let me spend my remaining life making amends. Let me care for you, for Jamie. Please. I stood, smiled slightly, leaving only, Marcus, I don't need you anymore. I never saw him again, only online news. He held a press conference, explaining everything, clearing my name. As for what he'd done to me, perhaps protecting me, he didn't elaborate, just took all blame. He dissolved his company, transferred everything to my name. Online opinion turned savage. What kind of man ignores his wife's assault? She was cursed marrying him. Did you see those videos? He and his mistress humiliated her, live-streamed it. Didn't trust his wife, believed others instead. Rich boys don't know real love. When they're done, they destroy you without caring. He should be dead. An apology and money make it okay? I closed my phone. Let the past stay buried. But one thing bothered Meto's protesters seemed organized, predetermined. Some weren't even parents. Who were they? Life calmed again. The troublemakers vanished. Real parents, seeing the news, offered understanding and support. I didn't take Marcus's money. He used it to establish children's charities in my name. Built dance schools in the US and Canada, all named Rachel's Dance Academy. My studio thrived with endless enrollments. I thought it was over. I was wrong. Maybe those protesters haunted me. Though gone, I constantly felt watched. Yet turning revealed no one. One evening after class, I got a call about a package. Busy cooking, Jamie volunteered to get it. But dinner finished and he hadn't returned. His phone rang unanswered. This neighborhood was safe, the pickup spot close. Jamie often helped with packages. Something felt wrong. That delivery person was female. Ours was always male. Bad feeling rising, I ran out searching. Following a trail snack crumbs Jamie had been eating. The trail ended at another alley entrance. Dark and isolated. Triggering all my worst memories. Then I heard Jamie's voice. Without thinking, I ran in. A knife pressed to my throat immediately. A woman's voice floated over, Rachel, long time no see. So familiar. The delivery woman's voice. What? Don't recognize me? She circled around, knife steady. In the moonlight, that familiar face Stella. You? Yes, me. Surprised? We meet again. What do you want? Just catching up with an old friend. Stella smiled, but her eyes held infinite hatred. Thanks to you, I lost Marcus's baby. Happy now? Rachel, why? I had those thugs assault you, but Marcus still wouldn't divorce you. Why didn't you freeze in that basement? Why reappear in his life? My eyes widened. She orchestrated everything. No wonder she led me to that room on the Memorial Day. Why those thugs claimed we were partners? Those studio protesters also her doing. Yes, all me. I grew up with Marcus. We were meant to be. Then you appeared and stole him. I had to take him back, whatever the cost. I almost succeeded. You were crippled, but he still came for you. Of course, with your slutty face, seducing men. Even those criminals still fantasize about you. From the shadows, thugs emerged, playing with their belts. Jamie stood gagged beside them. Rachel, don't blame me. Since Marcus can't forget you, I have to kill you. But we're old friends, I'll let you have one last thrill before you die. The thugs approached. Past nightmares wrapped around me, paralyzing me. Finally moving, I tried to run. They caught me easily. Demonic hands reached for me. No amount of struggle or screaming helped. I broke down in despair. Just as they tore my clothes, the alley flooded with light. A team surrounded the criminals. Marcus rushed over, holding me, tears streaming. I'm sorry, Rachel. I'm late. After checking I was unhurt, he turned to Stella. I knew it was you. All these years, confusing me, making me think Rachel was unfaithful. Why? We grew up together. Why do this to me? Stella laughed softly. Why? Marcus, you were mine. You loved me most. Then she appeared and everything changed. Why? How is she better? If you won't let me be happy, we'll all die together. She charged at me with the knife, aiming for my heart. Marcus shoved me aside. The blade plunged into his chest. Stella's eyes widened in disbelief, then turned vicious. She yanked out the knife, stabbing his legs repeatedly. By the time others reacted, his legs were riddled with holes. At the hospital, he'd lost too much blood and fell unconscious. But he had a rare blood type. The hospital lacked sufficient supplies. Just then, another doctor emerged with Jamie after examination. Him. This boy has the same rare type. Jamie stared at me, 6 years of hurt finally erupting in tears. Mommy, I'm not a bastard. Not a bastard. Jamie's blood saved Marcus, but his legs required amputation from excessive damage. On the hospital bed, learning the truth, Marcus's pale face managed a smile. His grip on my hand loosened. Rachel, thank our son for me. Go now. I have no right, no ability to care for you anymore. I pulled my hand free and left. Yes, time for proper goodbye. 7 years like a dream. Later I heard Stella got death penalty for attempted murder. Those who'd hurt me and his sister received appropriate sentences. Even Marcus turned himself in after discharge. 7 years of facilitating crimes earned him 3 years. Everything settled. 7 years living for others. Now, I'll live for myself. Embracing my new life. The end.